to the Planning Commission, Cupertino Planning Commission meeting of, what is the date? It is October 8th, 2024. If you could start by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could have the roll call.
Commissioner Monipatla?
Yes.
Commissioner Mystery?
Here.
Vice Chair Linskog?
Here.
Chair Fung?
Here. Great. The next item on our agenda is approval of minutes from our September 10th Planning Commission meeting. You can take a minute to review.
Yeah, I moved that we approve the September 10th, 2024 Planning Commission minutes.
I'll second that.
Great. If there's no discussion or corrections, let's vote with our lights.
The motion carries with Scharf absent.
All right. The next item on the agenda is postponements. Do we have any postponements?
No postponements, Chair.
All right. Then we go to oral communications. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the commission on any matter within the jurisdiction of the commission, but not on tonight's agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. In most cases, state law will prohibit the commission from making any decisions with respect to a matter not on the agenda. Are there any speakers?
I'm seeing no speaker cards in person, and I'm seeing no hands raised on Zoom.
All right. Very good. Then we'll close oral communication and keep racing along. Consent calendar, it's showing that there are no items on consent.
That's correct.
Then it's time for our public hearing for this evening. Let's see. The subject tonight is a sign exception permit to consider a ground sign with LED lighting and 4 wall signs where only one is allowed, and an existing service station and associated environmental review. We also have some notations. We'll come back to those after the staff report.
Yeah, thank
so
you,
if we
Chair.
could turn it over to the staff.
So I just wanted to introduce the item. This is the gas station at the corner of Blaney and Stevens Creek, just down the road, and I will pass it on to John Martier, Senior Planner, who will give you a presentation on this item.
Thank you, Pew, and good evening, Planning Commissioners, and the Cupertino public at large. And in the theme of expediency, I have a really quick presentation. So Pew already introduced the subject. So a little background in the request of the applicant. As you can see, the site plan is of the aerial is of an existing Alliance gas station. What we have proposed is going to be a rebranding of the existing service station to that of an ARCO service station, and with that comes typically new signage, updating of facilities, and in this case we have a number of those facilities, including signage, that are going to be updated. The first one that's going to be updated is the rebranding of the 42 square foot double-sided fuel price ground sign with light emitting diodes, LED, excuse me. And you can see that right there, okay? And that's very typical, as has been throughout the city. Currently, the prices are changed by hand. This will be done just electronically. The second is 2 new 11 square foot illuminated channel letter signs on the fuel canopy structure, each with a 5.5 square foot logo. And you can see these on the north and the south side right there. Right there, thank you. 1 new 5.6 square foot illuminated logo on the fuel canopy, just on this side right there. And then last is a one new 7.5 square foot illuminated channel letter sign on the food mart, which is right about there. Okay. Currently, there is no canopy signage, just one painted sign on the food mart, just stating that that's the source, or that's just the food. I think it's like Snack Shack or whatnot, but it's painted non-illuminated currently. The sign ordinance defers canopy signage as the same standards as wall signage. So typically, on a corner lot where you have a monument sign, in this case, we could consider the ground sign, the fuel price sign, ground sign as a monument sign. You would only be allowed one wall sign typically, but because of how gas stations are branding nowadays and whatnot, the applicant is requesting for these additional signages above and beyond what's allowed per the ordinance. Quick analysis, the wall signs. So much of what is being requested has been like any other sign exception approvals throughout the city, as summarized in the staff report. They're entirely on the existing canopy and food mart and are well proportioned to the scale of the structures. In fact, cumulatively, the wall signs are 46.9 square feet, well below the maximum allowed of 200 square feet. Illumination of the signs is conditioned not to exceed 250 foot Lamberts. The fuel price LED signage, again, is like any other sign exception approvals throughout the city and really just regionally. Standard upgrades. So the findings for approving the sign exceptions is that the literal enforcement of the provision of the sign ordinance will result in restrictions inconsistent with the spirit and intent of the ordinance. That the granting of an exception will not result in a condition which is materially detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare. And that the exception to be granted is one that will require the least modification of the prescribed design regulations and minimum variance that will accomplish the purpose. The recommended action is that the Planning Commission adopt the draft resolution approving the sign exception application and find the project exempt from CEQA. Next steps, should the project be approved, the Planning Commission's decision on this project is final unless an appeal is filed within 14 calendar days of the date of the decision. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
At this point, I guess we could take some clarifying questions if there are any questions about the presentation.
Excuse me, Chair, and it's a good time to ask whether anyone's visited the site or has any ex-party communications.
Yes. Could we,
Sure.
if anybody
Familiar
has
with the site, but did not visit specifically for this project. And no communications.
Yeah, I did not visit and no communication. I know that's place because I pass by all the time. So
I did drive by this, by the site. I did not have any communications with the applicant.
I drive by there all the time, and I have had no communication with the owner or the developer.
Great. If there are any clarifying questions, of course, we'll have another opportunity for discussion later.
So I have a question to John. So they're asking for 4 signs. So exceptions. What's allowed? Like the pedestal signage is allowed, right? The price sign, and then one on the canopy is allowed. Is that right?
Yeah, one on the canopy or one on the food shack or the food station.
Food court,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One on canopy.
Right.
And then what about either one?
Either one, right?
Either one. So either food, the retail place, and or the canopy.
Right.
One of those two, and then the pedestal sign for the pricing.
Right,
That's
correct.
what is allowed.
Exactly.
So
Perfect.
they're asking for 4.
For 4, correct.
Okay.
Any other clarifying questions? No? If not, do we have a presentation from the applicant? You're welcome to make one if you like. You don't have to.
Where do I stand? Right here? Hi, I'm Dave Kang. I'm representing Haddad Inc. Or Ed Haddad. He's busy right now. He's out of town, so he just asked me to come and speak to you guys whatever you need. He said John should have everything lined up and ready for your approval. So, I mean, we can't object to anything. We have guidelines by you guys, so we just want to make the city cleaner and nicer. That's all. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. All right. With that, well, if anybody has any questions for the applicant, of course, you're.
I have a question to John. So we recently approved one right on the street, like so. So I think can you remind us what we approved there, because we went through a lot of discussions there back then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So for the one that is down the street at Pacifica, I believe the LED fuel price signage was approved.
Approved. Yeah.
With LEDs, and then 2 non-illuminated signs were
Canopy.
approved for the canopy, and then a wall sign was approved. Illuminated wall sign was approved.
So one illuminated wall sign.
Correct, on the building itself.
Building.
Yeah.
But no illuminated sign on the canopy.
Correct.
It's just regular signage.
Correct.
And pedestal.
Correct, lighted LED.
Lighted.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thanks.
Any other comments? I guess we can certainly take a motion at this point and discuss after too.
Public
If
comments.
Public comments.
Yes. Yes, once again, public comment. We may have somebody online, I don't know.
No one in person at Community Hall, and I don't see any hands raised
All
on
right.
Zoom.
Okay, so we'll close the public part of the hearing. And so we can make a motion or discuss a little. I mean, this looks like it's going to go by pretty quickly.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of making exceptions all the time, right? There are rules, and the rules needs to be followed. At least that's me, right? And also, yes, certain things are absolutely needed. Certain things are excessive. So to me, the 4 signs seems excessive, right? I'm okay with the pedestal sign, and I'm okay with the food court sign. The canopy illuminated one, I'm not sure. 2 definitely excessive. 1 maybe facing on the Stevens Creek side, I might be okay. That's kind of where my head is. I just wanted to kind of share that.
Yeah. I would say to stay consistent with what we just approved at the last,
Yeah.
for the last one, which was the monument sign, and then 1 food mart
Food
sign.
mart. I'm good with that.
I would
yeah.
be more than happy with that.
So I do have a question. So one of the reasons we were okay with that on the last one was because they were going to have illuminated logos at each of the gas stations also, and we felt like that was going to be quite a lot of illumination already. Do we know if they're going to have the same kind of illuminated logos at each of the
I would
stations?
suppose so.
Correct. So they're going to have the those. There's a term for, but yes, each fueling pump will have some type
Will
of
have-
logo on it.
It's like the digital screen that shows ads and whatnot.
No,
It's called.
the screens are not allowed by our code because those are, it's just the actual
Yeah.
signage that just goes on, the static
Got
signage.
it.
It's
Okay.
called balances.
Balances.
Got it.
But
Okay.
they're illuminated balances, right?
They typically are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, given that, I agree we should stay consistent.
I guess I'll comment. I think that, particularly because these signs are that. So one of the things that I think is a forward-looking thing, we probably ought to look at, at the sign regulations. I realize that that's a hot potato here, but that's something that we probably should look at to make sure that we're doing something that's appropriate in terms of what is the normal standard for how a station would be done today. I think that the only issue that I would take with this, I don't think anybody has a problem with the price sign or the sign on the building. I don't have a problem with them having illuminated logos. They were relatively small on the canopy. This one did call for one on the south side, which I believe that's just facing toward homes, right?
Homes, yeah.
So I would actually suggest that perhaps that one, even if it's installed with lights, did not turn those on.
Yeah.
That seems like it might be. That was the only part that jumped out as excessive to me.
Even the north side one, that side, it's facing across the street.
Yeah.
There are homes.
Yeah.
The
Above the shops?
above the shops. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and another thing to consider, I'm assuming this entire facility is going to be brightly lit 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's not like people are not going to see the facility
Yeah.
if there's not illuminated signs on the canopy.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
Commissioner.
So at least where I'm at, I don't have a problem with 2 of the illuminated signs on the canopy, but if that's not where we want to go, I'm okay with that too.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't been any compelling reason presented why we should make an exception to this versus the one we just
Yeah.
approved at the corner of Pacifica.
Yeah.
So it seems like we should be consistent.
Consistent.
Otherwise, like, what are we basing our decision on?
Yeah, I
Agree.
agree. I agree.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion? Sounds like we might have some adjustments.
If I may ask a just quick clarifying question. The commission wishes to approve the signage, just not be illuminated. Am I correct? Am I to understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
On the canopies, yeah.
On the
yeah.
canopies.
Yeah.
So are you okay with this, the signage on the food mart being illuminated?
Yeah.
So that would be
Yes.
consistent with
Yeah.
what was done for 10490 South
Correct.
Janza, right? So yeah, no. I
Correct,
think-
that would be the wall
Okay.
sign,
Yeah.
the one wall sign that would be illuminated. But you're okay with the exception to allow additional signage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the food mart, the reason for that is, people know it's a gas station, but, if there is a food mart, people should know, so the signage helps. We certainly want, the business to succeed. So I think, signage on the food, illuminated sign on the food mart and the gas pedestal makes sense. The other two seems excessive, so I would go with, non-illuminated signs on the canopy.
Shall I make a motion?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. I move that the Planning Commission adopt the draft resolution attachment A, approving the sign exception application. Well, no, not approving it. Sorry. Approving the wall sign, illuminated wall sign, and the illuminated tombstone sign, illuminated tombstone light, but the other signs on the canopies to be non-illuminated, and finding the project exempt from CEQA. Does that work? Okay.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay. I wonder, to the applicant, would you like to comment?
I don't know, John. So like I said, Ed was sick, so I just stepped in for him. I don't know what kind of ALCO requirements is, or John city requirement is, or you guys approval requirement. So, of course, the more sign, the better. So, but we don't want to blind the drivers. That wouldn't be nice, and all the surrounding people who live in there either. So, maybe we can turn it off, turn it on, or whatever. Is there a requirement? Time after 10, or it depends on the council and John, in charge of ordinance and rule and regulation. Yeah, but
Can I ask, what were you expecting the hours of operation to be? Would it be 24 hours?
like I said, he was sick, so I just happened to step in for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I just want to confirm that this is not allowed for a 24-hour operation. So usually in the commercial district, hours of operation are limited between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
But the lighting would be on for the whole facility, right, until,
11
Dave.
p.m. Any signage is required to be turned
Turn
off
off.
at 11 p.m.
cool.
Okay.
And just a clarifying question then, 'cause looking at the PDF on page 10, the existing snack shop is, it's red with the white painted, and the proposed, it appears to just be a painted sign as well. Do we have any indication on how they're planning to do that sign?
Unfortunately, are you talking about the one on the food mart?
Yeah.
That's going to be LED.
But is it like a backlit, like PV, like a plastic sign that's backlit?
No, it's channel letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you look at page 11, it actually shows the channel letters for the
Oh.
lighting.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. I'll second your motion.
I think he already.
Oh, he already
You
did.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other?
Thank you. Any discussion on having the lighting on the canopy follow the operating hours? Nope. Doesn't sound like it. Okay.
No.
With that, if there's no other discussion, I think we can vote.
Oh, sorry.
The motion carries with Sharf absent.
Great. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, old business. It is marked as none. New business is none. Staff and commission reports. Is there a staff report?
None.
Any commissioners? I attended the mayor's meeting for commissioners. One of the activities, the unusual activities at this meeting was we did select the next set of, I can't remember what they're called, the Crest Award winners, which will be, and they will be honored at a ceremony in November. Yeah, that's right. The other thing, I guess the other thing to mention is that we will be having, all the commissions have been presenting to the city council. We'll be presenting, the planning commission will be presenting next Tuesday night. Right
October
at the-
15th, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right, the 15th. You don't need to be there. You might need to be there.
Oh, I need to be?
I think, nope.
It's only the chair that needs to
Okay,
be there to
yes.
present.
Picked you for a reason.
And we're very happy.
Okay, and with that, I think there are no staff and commission reports. Future agenda setting, any items that people wanted to raise?
Do we have, I know we've talked about it, do we anticipate at any point that we'll pick up a review of signage in the city?
Yes, we do. It is on the city work program.
Okay.
So probably early 2025.
Okay.
Don't have an exact date, but yeah, we were actually just talking internally about that, so it is on the work program.
Nice.
So it seems pretty timely with the amount of exceptions that have come forward.
Great.
Do we have an update? I hope it's okay to ask on what's going on with the other gas station, because it looks like they've made no progress since our last meeting.
I don't believe I can speak much to it, but I can only confirm that permits were issued for the signs that the commission approved last.
All right.
That one.
Okay. The 76 on the corner.
Yeah, it's.
I'll defer to the city attorney on this.
Oh, boy.
I mean, you can answer really quickly, but we need to limit this to future agenda, Jenny,
Sure.
for Brown Act purposes.
All right. With that, then I will call the meeting adjourned at 7:07 p.m. Thank you very much, everybody.
Shortest meeting.
I know.
Thank you, Chair.